Friends, today's lecture is on social stratification, class and caste system. Introduction. Inequality is an important aspect of human society. While in many cases inequality has its historical origin and is a culturally and religiously determined phenomenon, inequality can also be a result of economic conditions. One of the consequences of social stratification is discrimination and denial of opportunities to people belonging in the lower strata of the society. Thus, in many countries, attempts in the modern times have been to remove inequalities through constitutional measures and through knowledge disseminated in education. This has been done so in order to bring about justice and equality. In this lesson, we shall look into the phenomena of social stratification, its meaning and different forms. Finally, we shall look into how caste system operates in the Indian society. Meaning of social stratification. Stratification stands for the arrangement of people in a society into various layers on the basis of social status. The term stratification was originally derived from geology. In geological term, stratum means layer and strata means layers. The term stratification refers to the structure of the earth in terms of its natural properties as revealed in its crust or layers. Social sciences have borrowed this term and applied it to the arrangement of people in society. Groups in a society are arranged in hierarchy depending upon its rank. All the people who occupy the same status within a society occupy a single stratum. Status and stratum are interlinked. Stratum is divided into separate units. Stratum implies equality, strata refers to inequality. Lundberg in 1968 states that social stratification is the division of population into two or more layers, each of which is relatively homogeneous and between which there are differences in privileges, opportunities, restrictions, rewards and obligations. Forms of social stratification. Social stratification assumes different forms in different societies on different criteria. These forms are slavery, estate, caste and class. Other forms of stratification can be into division on the basis of age and gender. Slavery is the earliest form of social stratification. It is the legally recognized division of society into slaves and citizens. Citizens have the citizenship rights, whereas the slaves doesn't have citizenship rights. It existed in most part of Europe and other ancient nations between 500 BC to 600 BC. Estate is a later form of social stratification. Estates were owned by the feudal. They were established in the Europe in the 7th century and they lasted into the 16th century. Estate includes serfs and clergy. Serfs are the commoners and clergy comprises the feudal. Social class. The term class means a number of individuals in the same society whose status is similar. According to MacIver, a social class is any portion of the community marked off from the rest of the social status. A social class is a large-scale grouping of people who share common economic resources that in turn influence their lifestyle. Class stands apart from other systems of stratification. Characteristics of class. When looked from the perspective of social stratification, four main distinctions can be drawn as far as social classes are concerned. Number one, classes are not dependent on legal or religious decrees and are thus, formally at least, more fluid. Number two, class is in part achieved rather than ascribed. Some mobility between groupings can and does occur. Number three, classes are dependent on economic differentials between groups, usually either ownership of or access to material resources. Number four, class systems are more impersonal than other forms of stratification. Inequalities operate at a macro level across occupational categories. Other forms of stratification operate at the level of personal relationship involving duties and privileges. Social class had its origin in the feudal states of Europe. Classes are the consequences of economic factors. According to Marx, the ownership of the means of production is the crucial factor that shapes the class system. Those who own the means of production, like land and capital, form one class, and those who do not form another class. Marx believed that throughout human history, only two classes have appeared. Those are lord and slave in ancient society, landlords and peasants in feudal and agrarian society, and bourgeoisie and proletariat in capitalist industrial societies. Max Weber disagreed with Karl Marx. According to him, there are more than two classes. He said that class system emerges when economic status, social status, and political power converge into what he called status crystallization. In the latter half of the 20th century, sociological studies of inequality shifted away from an almost exclusive focus on social class to explore other inequalities of gender, ethnicity, sexuality, and disability. One influential attempt to connect different forms of inequality has been via the concept of intersectionality, the complex interweaving of diverse social inequalities which shapes individual lives and complicates the earlier, comparatively simple class analysis. Caste system. The term caste was derived from the Portuguese word casta, meaning lineage or race. Every society had its caste system, which is an integral part of its social system. Caste system is an important characteristic of Indian society. It determines the relationship between the various groups and individuals. It is therefore necessary to have some knowledge about caste system in order to understand the structure and functioning of Indian society. Caste system in India is based upon birth, while in other advanced countries it is based upon the color or the skin and wealth, etc. Meaning of caste system. According to Risley, a caste may be defined as a collection of families or groups of families bearing a common name which usually denotes or is associated with specific occupation, claiming common descent from a mythical ancestor, human or divine, professing to follow the same professional calling and are regarded by those who are competent to give an opinion as forming single and homogeneous community. A.W. Green, while defining caste, says, caste is a system of stratification in which mobility, movement of and down the status ladder, at least ideally, may not occur. The caste system is logically tied to the Hindu belief in reincarnation, the caste system representing a ladder down which one may slip in the next life if not virtuous in this. Characteristics of caste system in India. Number 1. Hereditary. Caste status of an individual is determined strictly by his hereditary, that is, the caste into which one is born. No amount of personal accomplishments or efforts can alter his caste status. Number 2. Endogamous. The endogamous character strictly prohibits intercaste marriages. Accordingly, a person born in a low caste can never hope to marry someone in the higher caste. Each individual is supposed to marry within his caste and subcaste. Marrying outside caste makes an individual or without a caste, which is the lowest category, even below Shudra. Number 3. Hierarchical. Caste system has a system of superiority and subordination. According to Hindu caste hierarchy, Brahman occupies the highest, followed by Kshatriya, Vyasa and Shudra. Number 4. Fixed occupations. Members of any caste are obligated to adopt the professions of their caste. Having developed from Varna system, the occupation in caste system is definite. Son of a blacksmith pursues the occupation of his father, son of a carpenter becomes a carpenter, and so on. With development of industries, people belong to many castes have lost their occupation and have taken agriculture or some other occupation. Number 5. Restricted food habits. Higher castes try maintaining their traditional purity by different food habits. Thus, Brahmins will only take sattvic or pure food. Kshatriya and Vyasa will take royal food. A Shudra takes tamsi food. Each individual caste has its own laws which govern the food habits. There is no restriction against fruit, milk, butter, dry fruit, etc. But food can be accepted only from the members of one's own or higher caste. Number 6. Untouchability. In Indian caste system, Shudra and outcasts are considered to be untouchable. In certain times of day, even seeing a Shudra is considered to be pollution. Even if a shadow of a low caste falls on a Brahmin, later is said to have been polluted. Number 7. Absence of vertical mobility. In a caste system, there is no movement of its members up or down the social status ladder. A person's status at birth is his lifetime status. Number 8. Reinforcement by religious beliefs. Religious beliefs have played a significant role in making caste system unavoidable. Religion has described Brahman as sacred and also an element of reverence and awe is attached to him. In absence of religious support, such rigid caste system will not be possible. Erosion of caste system in India. Caste system in India, especially in villages, was very rigid in past traditional castes were functioning. Caste-oriented people were orthodoxical, but the greater exponent of the rigid caste system was Dr. Ambedkar and Mahatma Gandhi, who wanted to abolish caste. In India, the caste system is becoming weaker due to the influence of the factors like industrialization, urbanization, and increased means of transportation, democratic government, and laws abolishing untouchability. The Republic of India 1950 provides for justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. Caste, color, and creed has no special consideration. Due to increase in desire for money caused by the influence of the materialistic tendencies, the sense of superiority or inferiority is now based on wealth and social power rather than on caste. Social welfare departments, backward class wings are trying to remove casteism. There are reservations of admissions or posts in appointment of lower caste. This way, the caste system is now vanishing. Conclusion. Stratification is a universal phenomenon. It occurs in every society. It draws on both social and psychological characteristics. Stratification is socially patterned or based on collective elements. It is governed by norms and sanctions. Social stratification has its own mechanism of socialization. It is not static but dynamic. Stratification is a product of history. All strata in a society are articulated in a systematic way with their function. In India, we witness operation of social stratification in terms of class, caste, and ethnicity. Caste system, although operates in the larger part of India, in the case of the northeastern states, this phenomena is absent. Rather, the people in this region of India are divided in terms of tribes and ethnicity. Caste system in India was very rigid in the traditional past. However, it has become weaker as a result of constitutional safeguards and creation of statutory bodies to prevent discrimination based on caste. However, the politics of vote bank has induced majority of the political parties in India to bank on caste politics. Thank you.